Chapter 22, The Civilian World. Spartans and Romans and Macedonians, Persians and Mongols, Apache and Sioux, Maasai and Samurai and Pashtun all share one advantage over us Americans. They were and are warrior cultures embedded in warrior societies. This is not the same in the United States. The American military is a warrior culture embedded within a civilian society. This state, in the American view, highly desirable. A too strong military, unfettered by civilian restraint, might be inclined to adventurism or worse. No citizen disputes this or wishes to set things up any other way. The Joint Chiefs answer to Congress and to the President, and ultimately to the American people. This is a state that the Constitution intended and that the Founding Fathers, who were rightly wary of unchecked concentrations of power, had in mind. But it is an interesting state, and one that produces curious effects. First, the values of the warrior culture are not necessarily shared by society at large. In fact, many of their values are opposites. Civilian society prizes individual freedom. Each man and woman is at liberty to choose his or her own path, rise or fall, do whatever he or she wants, so long as it doesn't impinge on the liberty of others. The warrior culture, on the other hand, values cohesion and obedience. The soldier or sailor is not free to do whatever he wants. He serves. He is bound to perform his duty. Civilian society rewards wealth and celebrity. Military culture prizes honor. Aggression is valued in warrior culture. In civilian life, you can go to jail for it. A warrior culture trains for adversity. Luxury and ease are the goals advertised to the civilian world. Sacrifice, particularly shared sacrifice, is considered an opportunity for honor in a warrior culture. A civilian politician doesn't dare utter the word. Selflessness is a virtue in a warrior culture. Civilian society gives lip service to this, while frequently acting as selfishly as it possibly can. Is it healthy for a society to entrust its defense to 1% of the population, while the other 99% thanks its lucky stars that it doesn't have to do the dirty work? In ancient Sparta and in other cultures cited, a warrior culture, the army, existed within a warrior society, the community itself. No conflict existed between the two. Each supported and reinforced the other. Remember the stories about the Spartan mothers? When the 300 were chosen to march out and die at Thermopylae, there was weeping and wailing in the streets of Sparta by the wives and mothers of the warriors who were not chosen. The wives of the 300 walked about dry-eyed and proud. 150 years later, Demosthenes, the great American orator, delivered a series of the great Athenian orator delivered a series of speeches and the assembly on this very subject, willing sacrifice by all. The orations were called Philippics because they warned that Athens against the rise of Philip of Macedonia, Alexander's father, whose ambition was clearly to bring all of Greece under his heel. Men of Athens, will you send your sons to contest this monster Philip? Or have you grown so fat and happy that you care not, and dispatch instead hired troops who are not of our blood and kin? Will these mercenaries, who fight only for profit, possess the will to hold Philip back? Or will the day come when we awake to discover that we have ceded future liberty to our current ease? The greatness of American society, like its Athenian progenitor, is that it is a civilian society. Freedom and equality are the engines that produce wealth, power, culture, and art, and unleash the greatness of the human spirit. What is the place of the warrior ethos within a greater civilian society? That question has been asked from the days of Minutemen through the world of World War II, greatest generation to Vietnam, and today to the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. The greatness of American society is that our citizens are still debating it, protected by those who have freely chosen to embrace the warrior ethos, and still debating it freely.